Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. I am Mapamani, joined by Joe Lissette. We have round 7 of 7, the last round of Swiss. We're going to put a couple people into the top 8 here. We have, I believe, the top 2 tables were able to draw in, and then there's a few win-ins coming up here. So on one end, we haven't seen. You mentioned playing Tron. We haven't seen Tron all day, like natural Tron.
Yeah, there was at least a couple players playing it. Yeah. I was kind of checking out on one of the players over the course of several rounds today. Who seemed pretty happy with the deck. And, yeah, we have one playing and winning in here in a matchup that might be a little tough.
Yeah, so we have Tron playing against Amulet Titan, and you might be able to speak to how this matchup goes a little bit better than I am. It seems pretty difficult from the Tron side.
It's not easy. Like, your good draws from Tron, especially going first, your good draws generally will win the game.
Okay.
But we're even in a spot here where normally your top draws in Tron will just squash anything.
Yeah. That's
not even the case here.
Yeah.
And if you're going second, yeah, you can find yourself really far behind if the Amulet deck, has an accelerant hand. If they have their, we've seen Amulet a few times this afternoon, and we've seen kind of these value-oriented games where they slowly build up and build up and build up. Cast Primeval Titan, get like a Valakut, shoot you a couple times, control the board. That is not going to work.
Right.
We need both decks here. We should see a lot of mulligans because both players, assuming they knew what they were playing against, would know that slow hands are not going to cut it here.
Looks like it might have been a mulligan to 5 on the mono green Tron. And there is one land in there. All right.
Whoa.
Sanctum of Ugin.
Okay, so if we're once upon a time for Sanctum over Expedition map, then I would say our hand is probably pretty darn good.
Yeah. Well, once upon a time doesn't get it. It's not Ancient
Right.
Stones. Right. That's okay.
Right.
It's a new card.
New card, and I haven't actually played very much with Once Upon a Time in Tron. I tried it when it was new and decided very quickly that it was not where you wanted to be. However, Tron has changed somewhat since then. For example, we don't have Karn Great Creator anymore, and that's changed the structure of the deck.
All right, so you see both players going to trade Once Upon a Times back and forth here, and you see if it's the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its mana cost, so free, if you will. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them. Put it in your hand, put the rest in your bottom in a random order. So you can see both players taking something. I believe it was Castle Garenbrag for the Amulet player.
So we have, again, really if you're on the Tron side, you can't really expect this, but what you really want to see is neither one drop from the Amulet side.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, and we see one, and really both good.
All right,
and
so float green light. It's pretty nice. If he's got Sylvan Scrying, he's in business.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Turn 3 Tron.
And this is Mold 5, and this is why a lot of people hate Tron players, because Mold 5 and then turn 3 Tron. And yet, this is just something that happens.
You hate Tron players or hate Tron the deck?
They hate
both.
Tron. In my experience, they hate Tron players. Yes.
Right.
And I think what we can conclude from that is not that Tron is evil, but it's that there's a lot of irrational people out there that are hating players just for a deck choice. It's like, come on.
All right.
I'm Mold 5 and I have 7 mana on turn 3. Get over it.
Yeah. Toughen up. Play the same deck. Who cares? So at any rate, Mike Fitzgerald is going to be able to assemble Tron next turn, as early as next turn. Peter Oakes has, is that another Once Upon a Time? I think it is. That's very shiny. My eyes are burning here. So.
Well, that wasn't just you. I don't have time making that at all. So.
Sakura Tribe Scout.
For a breeding pool?
Yeah, breeding pool looks like.
Okay, well that
just doesn't have anything that's,
Well, maybe
no carry
maybe land, or that's what's required here. But yeah.
Is that a Ghost Quarter in the hand there?
That would be very good.
Does he have Ghost Quarter? They should have at least one here, right? Yeah, there's a Ghost Quarter in the deck for Peter, and he chooses not to.
No, I think we're going to see it right now.
Yeah.
Draw a step, Ghost Quarter.
Yeah, there it is.
Bang.
All right, so.
Pick off the power plant.
Yeah, power plant down.
This is, I believe, the wrong. No, I'm sorry. This is right. We want to not hit. A lot of players default to hitting the tower, and really you don't want to.
Yeah, you want to hit the one that got searched out, possibly, if possible. But the Sylvan Scrying went and grabbed I believe it was the mine.
Yeah.
So.
But you want to leave the tower in play because there are scenarios where Tron gets assembled mid-turn.
Yeah.
And then as long as the tower is already in the board, then it limits the Tron player by 1 mana.
Yep. All right, so Peter going to take that.
All right, so now we'll play the mine, and then we have Chromatic.
We have Sphere.
Yeah, we have Sanctum we knew about. Do we have a payoff available?
Yeah, Sphere. I can't make out the other cards, but even Sphere's pretty good here.
There's something, yeah.
It's the float. A green, I would assume, here.
Yeah.
Coming back out. There's no black cards. Like, these decks, I remember when you were playing, it was pretty popular to play, like, either white or black in the deck.
There were times where both, I mean, original for years
Another scrying.
was the default was to play all Tron decks were green-red Tron.
Yeah, yeah.
That went away quite a while ago. And it's been, I mean, I could give a whole treatise on this, but it's based on not as much what cards are available to Tron, but what the metagame is presenting against you as to what removal is useful, and we're currently in the era where there is Field of Ruin,
Sure.
and so you need to maximize basic lands,
Yep.
and so splashes have disappeared.
Makes total sense. All right, so Peter going to untap with only 3 lands available here. I mean, he has the Scout, so virtually a 4th land available, but guys, this is Zusa. There's Druid. Or Dryad, excuse me.
Potentially a 5th, and yet no play there. No.
Well,
Up there. And
Mike Fitzgerald needs he has a Oblivion Stone in hand, actually, I believe.
Okay, well is reasonably good here. However,
mana.
we have Tron on turn 4 after having on a mull to 5 and had disruption of our land, and we still have Tron on turn 4.
There's a
Wormcoil Engine.
Okay. Let's see.
That's not exciting, but it's something.
Yep.
This match, I mean, gaining life can help put us out of range of getting shot down by Valakut, but you're saying that there's a...
I thought there was an Oblivion Stone in hand. I could be wrong. We definitely know there's a Sanctum of Ugin hanging out in there. I mean, this is going to be a Titan this turn, right? Yeah, there's a Titan.
Yes, there it is. And
yeah, there's definitely a Oblivion Stone in hand.
Okay, well, that is going to have to be deployed immediately.
Yep. All right, so it looks like maybe a couple Valakuts.
I mean, maybe if an Ugin gets ripped off the top. Otherwise, this is not... Primeval Titan versus Wormcoil Engine. I mean, they'll trade off in combat. Wormcoil Engine will get 2 lands, but Wormcoil Engine will find itself behind.
Yeah. All right, so Fitzgerald, I believe, going to go down to 14 here. Oh, actually, less than that, right? Because double... Double Valakut.
And then with... we could be seeing a...
He doesn't have another land in hand. Peter does not.
Well, if there was one, if it was a bounce land, we might have been done.
Yeah? Yeah, definitely did.
We would have been done, yeah.
All right, so Fitzgerald going to untap, draw a card here. It's like another Wormcoil.
No, that's a Karn, I think. I believe that was a Karn Liberated.
Well, there's Sanctum.
So we have some options here. All right, we're attacking in with Wormcoil. This is...
The life totals will get them updated here. All right, so for 3 mana, that tower is tapped here.
Maybe I misrecognized.
I think it's Wormcoil Oblivion Stone.
Okay.
Here's Oblivion Stone. I'm gonna go ahead and blow it up now. I'm a fan of that line.
Yeah, so that happens sometimes, where Expedition Map gets tagged by neural lines. Actually, I think we could have been avoided here if we would have blown up, because we played the Sanctum this turn.
Oh, he could have used it.
We could have blown up the Expedition Map, gotten another Tron land, played that.
Yep.
And then if we had a tower, we would have been up a mana.
Yeah.
And then just deploy the Sanctum next turn.
All right.
And that would have been... Well, that would have been better, but this isn't going to necessarily hurt us too much.
Yeah, the problem here is I think Peter has a Summoner's Pact in hand. He can just cast another Titan. I think the game's going to be over pretty quickly.
How many Valakuts are we playing? Are we playing 2?
I believe there's 2 total in here. 2 total.
How many Vesuva?
1 Vesuva, actually. Okay, so a little short.
Michael will survive the turn. In fact, given that, we might see the tokens get shot down here.
Yeah, I was thinking the tokens are probably next on the list. No mountains anymore, though, because of the Dryad.
Right, I take it all back. In fact, so this is actually still a game.
The, has he got field? How many? He has 1 Field of the Dead in the main deck here. And that looks like Gruul Turf. And I think it's Handwear Battlements is the other card there.
All right,
which is a new addition to this deck.
He gets bounced by the turf and then replayed.
Yep.
He's lined up for the turn. And then, yeah.
And there's
Primal
handwear.
Haste. So
Handwear battlements.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can get 2 more lands out here. The Titan will die in combat.
Yeah.
But we will be able to search out 2 more lands, which will generate some zombies, I would think. Or maybe we're going to be getting Teleria West and the Bounce Land. There are some options here for sure.
He actually just only has to block with the Death Toucher here, right?
Right. Yeah.
So see handwear battlements there. It's one of the newer additions to this deck. Now they've unlocked slots with the Dryad of the Elysian Grove. This one, so for red and tap, target creature gains haste until end of turn, and then for 5 mana tap, if you both own and control handwear battlements and a creature named Handwear Garrison, exile them, meld them. That's not happening in this deck.
Meld is cool.
Meld's really cool.
Neat. It was kind of messy in execution, maybe.
You made like a giant card.
But yeah, you have the giant card. That was super cool.
All right, so the Death Toucher going to block, and Mike going to go down to 11 here. I mean, Peter has not that he has nothing going on, but he's got another. Does he have another pact in his hand? Pretty sure he does. Boy, that's a lot.
That's a lot of mana.
All right, Michael going to attack in for 3, put Peter to 9.
All right.
Mike going to go up to 14, and he needs a payoff here, or he's got Walking Ballista.
Boy, it really blowing up our own expedition map last turn. In the case, if we would have drawn Ulamog this turn, we could have cast it if we'd blown up the expedition map.
Yeah. There's another Worm Coil engine.
Right about that. It is Worm Coil.
I think Walking Ballista is the last card here.
Yeah.
Now, Peter's going to have to pay for the pact. That's in there. Should be pretty trivial at this point.
And Peter's at...
So Peter should be at 9, I think.
Yeah,
we'll make sure you get the life totals updated. I think they went 9 to 14 here.
Yeah. Whoa. So the draw this turn was Amulet.
Okay. There's Azusa. And a Summoner's Pact.
So this is going to be packed for a Dryad.
Yeah. Dryad.
And then...
He's got enough?
I believe we do. We have 2 Valakans. All we need are 2 land drops, correct?
Yeah. I don't know if he had 2 lands. There's a... Yeah, he's got a bounce land.
Bounce land is enough, yeah.
All right, so there's the Dryad. Bounce land. That's going to be 6.
And the life totals are now updated. Michael's at 14.
But he's got...
Bang 6 and bang 6.
Yeah, and then 6 again.
Yep. And
all right, 18, yeah.
18, yes. Wow.
Clean. All right, so...
Yes, these Dryad really have powered up the... I've been impressed with how the Amulet decks are able to just blast down the opponent.
Yeah, I mean, Fitzgerald's at 14, which was relatively safe against the traditional Amulet deck before this Dryad was printed. I mean, you're safe from there, roughly. I mean, pretty good with with a Worm Coil on the field. So, at any rate, Peter Oak's going to pick up game number 1 over Michael Fitzgerald. So, we're going to take a look at the sideboards here. And Mike Fitzgerald has 3 Nature's Claims, 2 Veil of Summer, 2 Spatial Contortion, 2 Thought-Knot Seer, 2 Relic of Progenitus, 2 Dismember, a Weather the Storm, and a Thrag Tusk. There's some things that are pretty decent here.
There are some things that are decent here, I agree. But if we're coming into a tournament where we expect Amulet Titan to be the top deck, I think we need to do better.
Yeah, I agree.
However, so Nature's Claims, the problem, and this is not a new problem, and this is not Michael's problem, this is Tron's problem, is that there are 2 devastating 1-drops that we could face, and there's not a card available that deals with both of them.
Yeah,
so
it's rough.
We're going to bring in Nature's Claims to deal with the Amulet, and we're probably going to bring in Spatial Contortions to deal, and Dismembers to deal with the Scout.
Yeah.
And that stinks, because you just don't have room to bring in all this stuff plus anything else.
I agree.
I mean, do we bring in Thought-Knot Seer? I think we might.
Yeah, I
think we do, but it's slower than we'd like.
Yeah, I think Thought-Knot Seer is pretty good. You want to be able to shred like the Dryads if possible. But the problem is like these Amulet Titan decks, they have ways to get rid of it too. So you can see over on Peter's side, he's got 3 Aether Gusts, 2 Engineer Explosives, 3 Dismember. I mean, that's a big gain against Thought-Knot Seer. A Veil of Summer, an additional Radiant Fountain, an additional Field of the Dead, 2 Force of Vigor. That's pretty good. A Tireless Tracker and a Reclamation Sage. A lot of good tools.
Yeah, Force of Vigor is great. I mean, just being able to pick off Expedition Map, even if you're 2 for 1 yourself, it's worth it on almost any scenario.
Yep.
The Dismembers that can kill Thought-Knot Seer, that's something that may not come in because you may not know that Thought-Knot Seer is in the opposing sideboard. It's certainly a possibility. And then, so I don't think...
like Reclamation Sage is good.
Yeah, Reclamation Sage is okay. It hits Oblivion Stone. It doesn't hit a ton of stuff that matters. It can knock Worm Coil Engine down a little bit. That matters. I don't
That's
think
tough.
either deck gains a ton, and I think Amulet was solidly ahead
Yeah,
already.
I'm with you.
So I don't like the Tron side of this very much.
Yeah, I agree. Again, the 3 Nature's Claims and, like, I
Yeah,
mean, the Thought-Knots and the Dismembers are good.
I think the Dismembers are better than the Thought-Knots. But the Thought-Knots and Spatial Contortions, maybe you bring in, I don't know which one you bring in. I don't know how many cards we're even taking out. I don't know the exact makeup of this Tron list, but probably taking out. Ballista's another thing that kills.
There's Thragtusks in this deck.
Yeah, Thragtusk, get rid of it.
That's nonsense.
No, I mean, that's a nice card, but we do not want it here.
Yeah.
I'm not even. Worm Coil Engine isn't great.
Yeah, I would probably trim on those, and I mean, you can cut down on some of the eggs, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Blast Zone, is Blast Zone good? Like, do you need that in here, or do you just want to cut that?
It kills the 1-drops, but not on any sort of mana. Do we have a Ghost Quarter? Are we playing Ghost Quarter?
There's no Ghost Quarters total.
I was a big proponent of cutting Ghost Quarter before, but
yeah.
I don't know if we necessarily might want it now. But even then, you sound like you can waste a turn.
It's tough.
Using it.
It's tough.
I mean,
it's tough to take turns off to do that, you know. And we got to watch. So the Amulet player took a turn off, but had the Secure Tribe Scout in order to keep up with playing an additional land anyways.
The Tron deck, it's going first. I mean, I would say you have to win going first, but you have to win this game anyway. So this Tron deck, we can't. I feel like we cannot keep a hand. Last game we had turn 3 Tron. Yeah. We got disrupted at turn 4 Tron. We didn't have anything to do. We had Worm Coil Engine. That doesn't matter.
That doesn't do anything. Yeah.
No. We need to have Karn on 3.
Yeah, you got to have Karn and try and get rid of a land. Like, attack their lands is obviously the name of the game. This deck
and it's
very
tough
clearly operates on that way.
We only have half of the Karns.
Yeah.
They removed. I mean, Great Creator is still legal, but it's I think correct to not play it in Tron anymore without Magnus and Vladis. And now we're on 4 devastating Karns instead of 8, and so that makes it even more unlikely that Michael will be able to present a relevant threat on turn 3.
Yeah, with the removal of, you mentioned Lattice, there's not really a big incentive to play Karn the Great Creator at this point. I mean, obviously there's some cards you want to wish for, but nothing is really majorly game-breaking, end the game on the spot, just like that is. So
the Eldrazi decks are still playing it.
Yeah.
But because they're utilizing more kind of the in-between sized cards, whereas in traditional Green Tron, it's basically it's your big threat, and without that, it doesn't. You can't justify playing the card.
Yeah. All right. So both players on 7 cards here. Looks like a Gruul Turf.
I'm going to go ahead and straight up say that if Michael's Fitzgerald kept 7 on the play, that if he doesn't basically win this game on turn 3, then we could consider whether he made a mistake on keeping the hand.
Okay, well, there's a Amulet of Vigor there. There's still Thragtusk in his deck.
There is. Or you could, if it's Amulet and just get blown away on turn 2, then you didn't have a chance in the first place. That's also a possibility.
Yeah, it doesn't look great there. I think there's Thought-Knot Seer hanging out in his hand as well.
There's a Forest in hand.
Yeah,
there's a Forest coming into play.
Yeah, this is not turn 3 Tron.
Wow.
Okay, so he's going to take the time off to bust the Expedition map. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to be overly harsh here, but if it's true, we're told this was a 7-card hand. A 7-card Tron hand that plays a Forest on turn 2 in almost any scenario has to be considered a mistake.
Yeah, unless that Forest is going to play a Nature's Claim here for an Amulet, I think I'm okay with that.
But we didn't even do that.
Yeah, but now it's not doing so, and that's tough.
Yeah,
that's
tough. We are not in good shape.
Is this game over? So there's Azusa on turn 2. A few land drops here for Peter. Peter untaps. And I mean, he can play Titan this turn if he wants. And he's got a Pact in hand. Huh. There's Druid. I think we're done, actually, Joe.
This is
fucking
bad. So this is basically a tremendous start from Amulet,
That's
obviously.
unbelievable.
But it's still recoverable if we had a Karn on 3. We'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
But it's recoverable. Like, you're not auto dead.
Yeah,
but
this one's done.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we're done here. So going to play the power plant. I'm going to Sylvan Scrying, and that's going to be all she wrote here.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why Tron mulligans so well is because you don't need all of your cards.
Right.
Like
we watched that mold of 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there are cards in Michael's hand right now that have just no value, and whether you start with 7 cards or 5 cards, having the no value cards doesn't make any difference on the strength of your hand.
Yeah,
and so like we have the Thragtusk in hand right now, which is, I mean,
you pick another random card and Thragtusk is worse. It's worse than that card. All right, so here comes Chromatic Star.
Okay. So now we have turn 4 Tron. What do we even have?
There's not a payoff either, I don't think.
Yeah, we need to have
the Thought Knot's here.
Okay.
That's not a payoff.
No. We need to have Land Destruction. We need to have Karn Liberator. We need to have Ulamog. We need to have World Breaker.
Yep. All right, so I think this one's going to end here in just a second as Peter's going to fetch out a land. Looks like Breeding Pool, and that's going to untap thanks to the Amulet of Vigor. There's the trigger on the amulet.
Peter's draw is very good, but I feel like the way this game is developed, Peter with a reasonable draw would also be pretty far ahead right now.
Yeah, and here comes the bounce.
All right, but that's enough negative talk about the Tron Keep. We'll see here. The Amulet deck is just so powerful.
Yeah,
this is the top deck in the format, and it's redundant and powerful.
Yeah, man, it's incredibly lean. And here comes the Titan. There's gonna be a Valakut. Probably Handwear Battlements here. Because they get to give a haste. This is incredible,
I know,
Joe.
and then we're going to attack, and we're going to get Ghost Quarter and untap that probably.
All right, so those two are going to untap thanks to the amulet.
Take 6. Are we dead this turn?
Definitely.
Yeah.
The Titan gets to attack for 6 too. I mean, we're just
then we
toasted.
For 6. Maybe we're not. Oh no, but the Druid attacks too. Yeah.
Incredibly dead at this point.
Well, not incredibly dead. We're going to like -3. Come on.
I guess.
Although we still have like. We still have like 9 land drops left to play, so okay.
Vasuva.
All right.
What's that going to copy, Joe? What do you think? How's that work?
Like I was saying, if land drops were not allowed this turn, then Peter would have only won by a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. As it is, Michael took about 70.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's jump into our backup match here in just a second. We will have, let's see, what do we got over here? I'm going to grab these guys. All right. So, Ivan Espinosa, we watched play blue-white. I think he played blue-white against Infect. You and White did that match?
That. Mm-hmm.
And then Josh Satterfield, you and I did, playing the Ascendancy deck.
All right.
So
let's go.
Charge up your lasers. I'm excited to watch this one again. Josh going to play against Counter Magic this time with the Force of Vigors and Dovin's Veto and all kinds of stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
Force Indications, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So this is going to be, we're going to see it put to the test here. Last time it kind of just, well, I was going to say he got to do its thing, but really he won on turn 3. So it's not like his opponent just said, hey, I have a flubbed draw. It was just, I'm just going to take this from you and just crush you. All right. We are in, is this game 1?
Looks like game number 1.
We're in game 1 here. Ivan on the play. Josh with a mana creature.
All right. And Ivan passes back. Got a Teferi Time Raveler ready.
Okay, and then second mana dork.
I'm feeling it, Joe.
This is looking good.
I'm feeling it.
I believe there's a Breach and an Ascendancy in hand.
Oh, wow.
Now, Ivan is capable of defending against these cards. There are counters in this deck.
I suppose you're right.
There are not removal spells that are going to be relevant here, but there are counters.
Yeah,
I mean, we're playing blue-white control. That's definitionally we have removal and counters.
Man, you really nailed it, Joe.
I even made up a word to go along with it.
All right, so there's a mana leak hanging out. What does that even do, though?
What do you mean? What does it do? How is Jeskai Sensi combo going to beat a mana leak?
Yeah, that's good. That's a really great point.
I mean, you're going to play land number 3. We'll play Jeskai Sensi. It's going to get mana leaked, and Joshua's basically going to be dead.
Yep, that's it. Let's see what Ivan's got. Oh, he's going to bust both these. He's going to go for the Teferi.
Uh-oh.
Good night. Light it up, Joe.
Well, I was going to say that realistically there was no way
Well-
that Ivan was going to lose this game as he has counters. But if he taps out here,
He's toast.
He may not know. Does it possibly doesn't know what he's playing?
Yeah, it's possible.
Maybe he thinks he's playing.
All right.
Oh, he definitely doesn't know what he's playing.
The game has ended.
Yeah, let's draw a card. Maybe we have a force. We could have a force.
Eek.
Ivan is tapped
Ivan
out, but
could
his
have a force.
defenses are not completely down.
That is
What do we
true.
have? What? We bounced the noble hierarchy.
Yeah, and Josh plays Ascendancy. Ivan says, yep, that's good.
Okay.
Oh.
And pass the turn.
All right, maybe the pie's on my
See,
face.
Yeah, maybe
the
you
pie's
spoke a
on my
little too
face.
early here. Now, I don't know how this Ascendancy is going to leave play anytime soon. It'd be nice if we had a Teferi to bounce it.
Yeah,
but,
interesting.
We expended on the noble hierarch, which probably resulted in us still being alive.
You know what would be great here is, so if deckless were open,
Yeah.
Ivan could Field of Ruin that island, and guess what?
Oh, there's no others?
There's no others.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. He could field the Mana Confluence, and the island's the only basic available.
Okay, so here we go.
Is there another
now we're
Jeskai
just
Ascendancy?
going to be playing fair. Well, there is another Ascendancy, yes, but we're just playing fair with Ascendancy. I mean, we're casting cantrips.
Loot it up, man.
We are looting. We have multiple honorable breaches, but again, those aren't in play yet. We're still playing reasonably fair, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Ascendancy does graduate the card you did from Mana Dork into a Mana Professor again.
Wow.
So we'll see what it's able to do. We have
What's the feeling like when your opponent
Impending
discards
Doom.
an Underworld Breach? And they're like, yeah, it's fine.
No, that's confident. You're confident because Ivan's thinking that's a good card. Now he discarded. He's obviously a bad player.
They made a massive mistake discarding the wrong card.
Second Ascendancy.
Here comes Ascendancy.
All right. What do you do here? I mean,
You leak this?
You can't.
Yeah, what do you do?
I mean,
it's not good enough.
You obviously have to, but you can't. You have to wait for
Right.
other cards. Your opponent just discarded a Breach. Breach is so cool. There's no way they don't have 3 more in hand. Otherwise, they wouldn't discard the first one.
Okay.
Field of Ruin. Wow.
Going to field him off, and Josh going to look through his deck and be disappointed. Or he's not even going to look. He knows.
No, well, yeah, good for him knowing his own deck list. That's good. Yeah, Ivan is good. That's good information. Even if Ivan gets squashed in this game, that's good information to take with you for the rest of the match.
I agree.
That your opponent only has 1 basic. Now, what would be sad is if actually Josh has his other basic in his hand, and then Ivan goes for it next game and then gets screwed because of that. But we know that's not the case.
All right, here comes the looting effect from the Ascendancy. And Ivan's going to mana leak that second one there.
All right, Ascendancy down.
There's another land. Yep, there's land for turn. So second Mana Confluence. All right, and there is floating mana. There's a sleight of hand. I'm pretty confident that Ivan's dead here.
Well, sleight of hand for free, sure. I mean, we don't have that much mana. We don't have a Fate Stitcher yet.
I believe there's a Fate Stitcher. I could be wrong. I thought he drew and discarded
Do
one.
we have one in there? Oh,
Might be
maybe.
wrong.
If we did, I feel like it would come out already. The storm is it? I believe that die is keeping track of the storm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be on top of the island.
Yeah.
But we're neutral on mana so far. 1 mana spells are free.
There's a Cerulean Wisp hanging out in hand.
That actually generates a mana. That's a ritual.
And there's a Breach in hand. And he's Graveyard's pretty loaded up at this point.
Yeah, and it's going to keep getting big. This Ascendancy is going to keep pitching stuff every turn.
And there's a Thought Scour now. That's even better for that Breach.
For the graveyard, yeah. And it's also free. All right, Birds of Paradise at the bottom.
Man.
Glittering Wish into hand.
Yeah, Glittering Wish is a big one.
Committing our mana. There's a breach. Oh. Still, it's not a mana source. There's the loot. Oh, jeez. That's something. It's so easy to forget that because Ascendancy does so much.
Yes.
And then it's also you just loot every time.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Thought Scour.
And this deck, I know people are asking in the chat, is that the Storm counter? This deck actually doesn't win via Storm. We're going to get there eventually, it looks like. Josh is letting his opponent know that he's going to continue to Thought Scour, with the Underworld Breach over and over until he finds a Glittering Wish, which I believe he has in hand, actually.
He has
Glittering Wish, and he's going to be able to use Glittering Wish, which we can go over how it works. So we'll bring Glittering Wish up on the screen here for you. Take a peek at. Josh is grabbing his sideboard, as you can see here.
I think we're at the stage where we're explaining to Ivan what's going to happen instead of actually doing it. Yep.
Yeah, so you can see Glittering Wish there. Going to choose a multicolored card you own from outside of the game. Reveal that card, put it in your hand, remove Glittering Wish from the game. Josh reveals the Flesh Blood And we can show you that one too. Joe and I will tilt our heads sideways to read that one to you one more time.
And so the die, while keeping track of the storm, what the die is actually doing is keeping track of the Sylvan Caryatid's power.
Yes, that's correct.
So Flesh and Blood, a split card. Don't worry about the left half. It's not happening. The right side is a red and a green. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. So basically, target creature you control. What do we have? We're not fighting because the damage isn't going both ways. What do we call this?
Fling.
Fling, right. No, but we're not sacrificing.
I don't know,
okay,
man.
anyway, here we are. We're in.
Is this the same game?
No, this game went over again, don't worry. When we're on the time shift, and the tape finishes, it restarts.
Yeah.
So occasionally we get a couple seconds of the beginning of the match over again, but we are going to have the next game in a moment, and it could start the same way, but probably Ivan will be going first.
Yeah, you saw how that flesh, but people ask, can't you just power up the Caryatid and attack? Sylvan Caryatid has Defender.
Yeah.
There's things like Fate Stitcher. We mentioned Birds of Paradise in the game that we did. Noble Hierarch's another way you are able to attack, but that specific way you're unable to attack with.
Yeah.
So we'll go over the sideboards here. So Ivan Espinosa there on blue-white control has a pair of Mystical Disputes, 3 Ashiok Dreamrender, a Circle of Protection red. Interesting. I don't know how that works with Flesh Blood. Anyways,
would work.
Does it work?
Sure.
Okay. 2 Celestial Purge, 2 Stony Silence, 2 Rest in Peace, Timely Reinforcements, and then a pair of Ether Gusts.
So if Circle of Protection red stops Flesh Blood, then you automatically board it in and just play it and ask your opponent to concede?
Concede.
I don't think it works that way.
Would you like to concede?
No, I probably would not bring it in.
Okay.
All right, so what do we have that we do want? Mystical Dispute stops Jeskai Ascendancy.
Yep.
And keep in mind, it's possible that Ivan's total lifetime knowledge of Jeskai Ascendancy combo was what you just saw. And in that, it appeared that the blue enchantment was very powerful. So I'm going to say those disputes are coming in.
Okay.
Celestial Purge kills Jeskai Ascendancy.
Sure does.
Those might come in.
Okay.
Rest in Peace wipes the graveyard.
Yeah, very good.
Wipes out Fate Stitcher, which he didn't see, but
he did see the breach, though.
Yes, he saw the breach. So Rest in Peace definitely could come in. And Ether Gust might be able to handle some of the cards in there. So that's possible also. So we have 2, 4, 6. I'm going to say we have potentially 8 cards that could come in. They may not all come in, but we have potential of 8. Cards we may not want include the bulk of our removal, I would think.
Yeah, like Supreme Verdict. Is that good enough, or is that nonsense? I feel like it's good enough.
I think it kills the mana creatures. But
Winds of Abandon's probably gone. Timely Reinforcements in the main. There's
gone. Path to Exile. What is Path to Exile
I
doing?
don't know. I don't know, man.
We're killing Noble Hierarch?
It's all bad. It's all bad.
We can't even kill Sylvan Caryatid.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go to... So there's definitely some bad cards in Ivan's deck and some cards to bring in. As far as Joshua Satterfield, 2 Assassin's Trophies, 2 Veil of Summer, 3 Leyline of Sanctity, 1 Wear and Tear, 1 Scar Scale Ritual, 1 Flesh Blood, 2 Silence, 1 Jeskai Ascendancy, 1 Teferi Time Raveler, and 1 Deafening Clarion. And keep in mind that a lot of these one-ofs are wish targets and they're not actually being boarded in.
Yep. I do like Teferi Time Raveler against the control deck with a, hopefully, a half dozen counter spells, maybe more. So.
But even in that case, so do you board it in or do you just leave it inside where to wish for?
That's hard.
Yeah.
You have more wishes than you have Teferis, so it's one of those tough things. It's kind of like the Karn Wish package.
Yeah.
I think you kind of want it in. Like, you're mostly just going to be digging for like Flesh Blood and probably Scarscale Ritual you'd be like looking for, and Ascendancy if you need one. The silences sound pretty sweet too.
Oh, we saw those do a lot of work earlier. I mean, Veil of Summer I think is likely to come in.
Yeah.
So really what we're looking at is potentially coming in Veil of Summer, maybe Silence, maybe the Teferi.
Maybe.
Although if you're bringing Teferi in, are you bringing Ascendancy in also? Probably not.
I don't think so.
Maybe are you bringing one of the two?
I think you leave that Ascendancy out there to wish for.
So so one thing. So let's say you wish. And you wish for, if you board into Teferi, you wish for Ascendancy, the Ascendancy gets countered. You draw another wish. Is that wish card now dead?
That's interesting.
So maybe you have to leave both in the sideboard so that the second and third wishes still have something to do.
Okay.
We'll see. So there's obviously less work going on because this deck doesn't have to waste slots on removal and such like a normal deck would because we're a combo deck.
Yeah.
So Josh's sideboard is going to be minimal, but it doesn't mean it's not impactful.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're ready to go for Game 2 with Joshua Satterfield up a game.
Okay.
Ivan starts with main phase turn 1 opt.
What are you looking for at that point, huh?
I think if you're doing that, you're probably looking for land. You kept a land light hand, and you're terrified of getting Mystical Dispute cast on your cantrip.
Okay.
That's generally in Legacy, I assume, when players go main phase turn 1 brainstorm, it's because they're short land and
or killing you,
and they can't risk. Yeah, well, that too. But you can't risk having your brainstorm dazed.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so
both players with turn 1 cantrip.
Yeah. I'm going to untap. He has Mana Leak available now. He's got Celestial Colonnade. That's awkward in hand. So I'm going to go ahead and fetch out here.
I'm going to predict the future.
Okay, go ahead.
Ivan is not going to tap out on turn 3 this game.
Wow, that's quite the bold statement. That's bold. That's bold, my friend.
I like to take my shots.
He taps out on turn 2. Rest in Peace. That is a good one.
Yes, it
Rest
is.
in Peace. Very good, I would assume, against Josh's deck. And he picks up a Breach, and that's not going to do it. Not this game.
How easily is Josh going to... So Josh, obviously, there are going to be some ways that get rid of Rest in Peace, but how easily can he win with it on the board? Obviously, it wipes out Breach. Ascendancy is still going to function at full power as long as you're not relying on Fate Stitcher.
Yeah.
And there goes an Ascendancy. So Ivan already looking much better than previous game.
Yeah, significantly better here. He's got Force of Negation in hand also, which is probably one of the reasons he is tapping out this turn.
Teferi comes down. That's an Assassin's Trophy, I
Can't
believe.
cast it.
I'm sorry?
Cannot. Oh, he has a Sylvan Carriage. Excuse me, yes.
So that actually can kill the Rest in Peace. Unfortunately for Joshua, it will have to be done main phase because of the little Teferi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite the squeeze because it has to be done main phase because of Teferi, and you want to do it in your opponent's turn because of Force of Negation, and just not going to have the opportunity to do so. So that's going to get countered here.
I believe that Force pitched an Ether Gust.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So that's a sideboard card that came in for Ivan.
Yeah, Ivan looks like he's down to 1 card here also.
Well, Joshua's got several, but the Rest in Peace in play is negating several of them.
Yes.
This is what virtual card advantage means, because the Rest in Peace, while not trading directly for anything, is counteracting at least, I think there are 2 breaches.
There's a silent. Wow, there's another Jeskai Ascendancy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good way to get through your deck if you want to do. You know, Josh has time. The blue-white control is not exactly killing you very quickly.
Right, and Fairy Time Reliever has no relevant ultimate type effect, unlike his big brother Teferi, Hero of Dominaria.
You see Wear Tear in the sideboard there. He was thinking about. So Josh going to Thought Scour. Ivan. It's a Cryptic command, I believe, there. Finds Manamorphose.
Josh could really use another land here, so I think, this cantrip's just going to get fired off immediately, although it would have to anyway because of the Teferi.
Yeah, so he's going to go for Glittering Wish.
Okay.
Is there another Force in Ivan's hand? Sure is. Okay.
Given that Joshua needs a land, I can understand casting the Manamorphose first before the Wish.
Yeah.
But also he wants to save it until after the Ascendancy's in play.
I think Ivan has another Force of Negation in hand.
Is he playing 7?
I mean, this is not Legacy where you can play 5, 6 of them, however many you want. But man, that's good.
There we have the land. How many are there? How many forces are there?
I believe there's 3.
Is there? There are 3. Yeah.
3 Force of Negation. Yeah.
Okay. And to address the question from chat, there are no Stoneforge Mystics in Ivan's 75.
All right. So Josh going to a 4 mana. There's a Fate Stitcher.
All right.
Yeah. Good luck Force of Negation in that one, Joe.
Non-creatures only.
Yeah. All right. So going to send it back Ivan's way, and Ivan's got this Teferi on 3. Force of Negation, and I mean, his hand is not particularly good at this point. There's a Field of Ruin. He knows that's actual strip mine.
Yeah, that actually is nice. And so the knowledge from the previous game will come in handy here.
Yep. Yeah, I don't see why not. Just light it up right now. I mean, Mana Confluence is probably the one, right?
I agree.
There's a time limit on Gemstone Mine still making mana. So.
And, yeah.
So Ivan going to go grab. an island out of his deck here. And he has a Celestial Colonnade there, so I poked fun at the blue-white control deck not killing you, but he's got the Celestial Colonnade if he ever runs out of action, but it's a little awkward to tap out against this deck.
He's not going to run out of action. He's drawn Force 11 turns in a row.
That's true.
He's not going to run out of action. All right, so we have the Fate Stitcher in play. So actually, we are now. This turn, it's actually possible that Josh could win.
He could,
I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it is possible.
I believe he has Jeskai Ascendancy in hand as well
and
here.
And Silence.
Yeah.
Right? Does he still have the Silence?
Yeah, he hasn't used it yet.
So 1, 2, we have 4 mana available currently. If we go Silence Ascendancy, that would be the end of our turn.
He's got a Manamorphose as well.
Mm-hmm. But the thing
he needs a land.
But even then he would need 2 because we're ideally we're going to play the Silence to ensure that the Ascendancy resolves, in which case then we need to be able to play any spell after that point.
Sure.
So a Wisp or a blue cantrip, anything that costs 1 would be nice. Even another Silence, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
I still like the idea of leading with Manamorphose.
Okay.
Because we have two Underworld Breaches in hand. Oh, we do have a land.
Okay.
2, 3.
Well.
All right, so that brings us up to 5 mana, and we attacked the fairy. All right.
Send it back. Ivan's way.
However much removal Ivan left in the deck, it's probably not a lot. So this Fate Stitcher might live for quite a while.
Yeah, he's got another land. Well, there's another Strip Mine.
Field. Wow.
That'll do.
That is surprisingly good here.
Yeah, gonna take him off. Take Josh off another land. Yeah, this card acting as Strip Mine has been pretty good.
Yeah.
Josh on that one Singleton Island, which he's had, I think, since the beginning of the game, actually, is hurting a little bit. Just finds Steam Vents.
Yeah, that'll work. Any land is good right now.
Yeah, lands are great.
Brings us up to 5 mana. So if we have Silence, Ascendancy, any 1 mana spell at that point. I don't think we have the 1 mana spell.
I think it's double Breach in hand are the other two missing ones.
Yeah. I would. The Manamorphose is worth 2 mana once the Ascendancy is in play, but oh boy, this is going to make it much harder because this is probably going to bounce the Fate Stitcher. Okay, never mind. Ivan decides to go for more cards, which that's fine also.
Yeah, he's got Ether Gust was one of the pickups there.
Okay.
Gust that now.
So
he doesn't have enough mana if he wants to Gust and hold up Force of Negation as well. He doesn't have enough going on. So here comes.
Yeah. So here's the
Silence. Silence you. Silence has been a complete beating for Josh in these matches we've watched.
The Storm deck, it was tremendous, and Ivan cannot really let this resolve.
Yeah, I mean, you got to at least keep up appearances, right? So he's going to go ahead and fetch out another land here. It's like an island.
Silence. 1 white mana instant. Your opponent can't cast spells this turn, so it doesn't even target.
Yeah, pretty good.
Your opponents can't cast spells this turn.
All of them.
Yeah, well, if you're playing Commander, maybe you'll wipe out everybody.
All right, so that's getting forced, and Ivan's left with 1 card in hand. And Josh going to shock in. I think he's got him covered, man.
Well, I think he's kind of priced into going here either way. So we have. So he
has Manamorphose
as well.
We still
have Manamorphose, and we have Breaches. Obviously, Breaches are blanks. However, they do.
They trigger the Ascendancy.
They trigger the Ascendancy, yeah. And also, they're just. We can undo kind of the virtual disadvantage of the recipes because now we can throw away the Breaches and turn them into other cards.
Exactly. So Josh going to go ahead and use 2 mana here and use a Manamorphose.
Okay. Ivan's posture does not indicate someone who has a response.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Sleight of Hand's a big one. So
anything. Well, now we have 2 Mana Professors.
Yeah.
One of which can attack. So we might be doing it.
He's going off here. Yeah. He's going to get through a lot of his deck, and he's got the two mana producers you mentioned. That's going to net him a ton of mana throughout this turn as they're going to be untapped from Jeskai Ascendancy, and I'd be surprised if Josh fizzles out here. I mean, he's going to see tons of cards.
Yeah, Serum Visions, so we're going to get to loot once,
yep.
Draw 1, scry 2, and then the scrying is so much more powerful when you can then draw the card later in the turn.
Exactly.
We are going to tear through this deck.
Another Sleight of Hand.
We're going to need 14 total spells, I believe. Fate Stitcher's a 1-2. Maybe it's a 1-3.
There's the Glittering Wish off the top there,
I'm not even sure we need it.
Yeah, Ivan's already at 15.
Mm-hmm. And if Ivan had a Path to Exile, I think it would have been cast several actions ago.
Yeah. Josh has a lot of blue mana to work with here. Gonna go down to 2. Gonna untap his creatures. Gonna resolve the sleight of hand first. Gonna take.
Pass of Metamorphose. So each 1-mana cantrip creates a mana.
Right.
Each 2-mana spell breaks even except for Metamorphose, which creates 2.
Yeah, it makes mana, yeah. It's pretty good. And he's got a ton of mana. He's going to use the white and the green floating and going to Wish. Going to draw for the... and discard a card with the Ascendancy. Going to use that Glittering Wish. I assume Flesh Blood is going to be the find.
That's right. We don't even need to attack.
I mean, yeah.
We stopped. It appears we stopped keeping track of the growing.
So he's going to grab Wear Tear.
So Wear Tear. So we are going to kill the rest in peace. So we are planning on using using the breach. I guess. Yeah, sure.
That's fine. I mean,
there are. It appears that there are multiple ways that Joshua can approach this.
Yeah, it's probably much better to kill the rest in peace and go through. Because you can make tons of cards go into his graveyard. So probably safer this way.
That's kind of something I was thinking about in a deck like this where we may not know the intricacies of how all this deck functions, and Joshua might. So plays that may seem like, oh, well, any one of these options will do it. One of those may be just safer, and we just aren't going to pick up on that.
Yeah, I feel like this is more reliable. You're going to be able to. He's going to be able to go through quite a few of his cards. He still has a Breach in hand, I believe. He's going to be able to get through tons of stuff. I mean, a bunch of his cards are off because of Rest in Peace.
Getting the Rest in Peace exiled also makes it much better if somehow this fizzles out or if he isn't able to win. Having the Rest in Peace not in play just makes it much more likely you'll be able to win next turn.
Yep, there's the Breach, and it's going to untap the creature. It's going to trigger Jeskai Ascendancy again. Well, I might have to eat my words here.
It doesn't take long to build a graveyard up when you're looting on every spell cast.
Yeah. Discard Fate Stitcher.
Okay, that's another thing that this gains you. We can bring another Fate Stitcher into play. Yeah. Ooh, are we
I
would
out? Say I think I might eat my words on that one.
Yeah.
He can attack for quite a bit here. I'm not sure what the exact number is.
And the Fate Stitcher in the graveyard could come into play for one point. We're actually killing Jace. And, wow. So that Breach was cast really just to loot once, I guess.
Okay. I think Ivan's supposed to bounce the Fate Stitcher here.
I thought he was supposed to bounce it last turn.
Yeah.
With the Jace. But, yeah, sure. Here we go.
I guess. I was saying, I guess you can bounce the Ascendancy now. Yeah. So, I mean, kind of get paid off for that.
I'm fine with that.
I don't know what his last. One of them is Ether Gust. I don't know what the other card is, though, in hand. I mean, if you have nothing, you just got to attack with this. I guess you can block a turn with the Colonnade.
Yeah, that's true. Although there's a Fate Stitcher in the graveyard also, so if everything gets running again, there actually are 2.
Yeah.
And so here we have 6 total mana available. Ascendancy, Gust, and then we can Metamorphose and get it back and put it on the board, although our turn would be over at that point, but it still might be worth doing.
Looks like.
Oh, okay. That's also reasonable. And attacking into Colonnade, I was going to say we probably missed that one.
Yeah, I think Josh might have missed that. There's no way you want your Fate Stitcher to die. And he does the shake of head and scratch himself. That's the telltale sign of an oops. All right, so let's see. So you're going to go Cantrip, and Ivan is opt here. Everybody bringing their stuff a little bit closer here.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. So, again, this match is time-shifted, so it's hard for us to give directions to the players in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
But now we do have everything back on the board, so that's good.
Right, you see another Teferi Time Raveler, and Ivan's going to send that one back. And he's going to find Teferi Hero of Dominaria. Okay. Well,
it'll be drawing a card. There's no targets for the Tuck ability.
Yeah. So going to draw a card.
Still, Ivan not working with many resources here.
I feel like there's 2 lands in his hand. I can't tell, but not great.
Joshua redraws the Ascendancy.
He knows the Ascendancy is there. Going to try and stick it again.
And Ivan, Mr. Espinoza, do you have? Looks like you have a response.
Snapcaster, all right. Snapcaster Gust.
Everything else is gone. That's all that's available.
Okay.
Back on top again.
All right. This game went from what I thought was unlosable for Josh into a pretty good fight here from Evan. From Ivan, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know.
Do we know? Have you got a caught sight of? Whoa.
Both Fate Citrus coming in. And yeah, they're both gonna come in. Untap 2 lands.
Okay. What is happening?
I don't know.
We know there's a Metamorphose in hand. There's Ascendancy on top.
Can we go for the Metamorphose here?
Okay.
This is interesting.
It's unclear to me what the goal of this is.
Well, he hasn't played a land yet. Has he? No, he has not played a land yet.
Even if he had, whether or not he's played a land, if you Metamorphose, draw the Ascendancy, play land, play the Ascendancy past the turn, your face signatures are both gone.
Yes, yeah.
That does not seem like, and then the Ascendancy would get talked about the Teferi immediately.
Yeah.
Well,
there's not blue mana. They both require blue mana to unearth, right? So this.
Oh, I see.
So I believe that's what's going on. The Temple Garden does not produce blue mana.
Right. So you could have done it anyway. You could use the Steam Vents, bring out one, use that one to untap the Steam Vents.
Yeah.
And then bring out the other one. Yeah. So that would still work.
Yeah, let's bring up
Fate
However, Stitcher.
It doesn't mean that this is. And I apologize if our lack of experience with the deck means that we're misreading this, which is possible, but this feels like a plan that isn't likely to work.
Yeah, Fate Stitcher is blue mana to unearth. I thought that was the case.
Yeah. So blue and 3, 1/2. You may tap or untap another target permanent. Zombie Wizard, because it has unearth, and really it's perfect for the deck because you can loot it away and then unearth it, and then not only does it generate mana, it also is a win condition because it gets pumped up by the Ascendancy.
Yeah, it's quite interesting here. So here comes. I don't know what we're figuring out. Do we have an idea what's going on over here? I'm listening here. We're getting some confirmation here on our call.
Okay, so what happened here was that there was the Joshua cast the Metamorphose and then asked for a rewind. He did want to take it back, but because he'd asked Ivan whether it was okay, and Ivan said yes. And so once the priority was passed back and forth, Joshua wanted to rewind the Metamorphose, and the judges denied that correctly because
he
by
knew
passing
it was
priority,
resolving. Yes.
And that then was the holdup there. Now, having known that, and now it's been resolved, and Ascendancy's in play, the Fate Stitchers are now exiled because of Unearth, the question still remains, what exactly was the plan there? It's unclear. I wonder if Josh got a little ahead of himself there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like what happened was everything worked. Everything he intended to do happened, but it led to no positive results.
Yeah.
I believe we could have accomplished the exact same thing and still have the two Fate Stitchers in the graveyard.
Okay.
Because I believe we spent 2 mana to bring the pair of them out, and they generated 2 mana.
Sure.
So the net game was nothing.
Yeah. This is interesting. So I'm thinking back to the turn where, this is eons ago at this point, where we attacked with the we attacked the Rest in Peace with the Wear Tear.
Uh-huh.
And if we just go get Scarscare Ritual and draw some more cards, try and get there a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyways, Ivan Espinoza going to pick up a win in game number 2 here, and Jessica Ascendancy down in that one. Well, you like that? Did he get
close.
You right when you
almost? He started counting down. I was like, oh man, I need to cough, and then it was right back.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Possibly he could have gone deeper. Although Joshua may have decided this scenario, it looks like I'm not going to win this turn. I want this recipe out of here while I have a chance. But
there's a lot of decisions.
Yes, there are. if the Scarsdale Ritual is gone for instead, you see 2 extra cards.
Yeah.
Maybe we find a way to just finish
just
off
funnel
the
through
game.
your deck, a little bit more. All right, well, we're going to jump into game number 3 here in just a second. I don't think anything else really is going to change. Joe's cracking me up right now. You see Josh Satterfield on the play for game number 3. Goes and grabs a breeding pool out of his deck, and probably going to have either one of those Noble Hierarchs or Birds of Paradise here.
I'm going to make a suggestion here while we're going. Director Jack, this is the end of the Swiss. This is the last round. There's going to be somewhat of a delay before the top 8 gets going. Maybe we could slow this down and not necessarily need to watch it this fast.
All right.
But so let's see if
all right, good.
Okay,
good.
so
we're just watching the beginning of the game. Yep.
This is the beginning of game 3, and we'll just run it a little bit slower so we can really take into account what's actually happening, since we're not in a rush to get this one done.
I bet he plays Noble Hierarch here. Even money?
See, now that's not. I don't think that's fair.
All right. Well, never mind. Either way, I'm right.
At least I was taking a little bit of a chance on my prediction.
I'm right. Thanks. Yeah, I was something kind of nuanced that has gone on. It's kind of a small detail in this game. Ivan has 4 Field of Ruins in his deck, and they were punishing Josh several times throughout that game.
Were. And there's not really anything Josh can do about that, aside from perhaps if he draws his island, don't play it.
Yeah.
And then Ivan will be less incentivized to immediately fire off the Field of Ruin.
I see Sleight of Hand, a couple cantrips. Thought Scour and Sleight of Hand going to happen here for Josh as he's trying to sculpt a better hand. His hand doesn't look particularly good at this point. Yeah, I don't. All right, sends it back to Ivan. I'm thinking about drawing. Going to go ahead and fetch out instead here first. Thin his deck of 1 land. I'm going to untap here and draw his second card of the game. There's an opt
eventually.
Instead, actually. Okay. Opting instead.
That might have been a Field of Ruin he picked up there.
I think it was, yeah.
And, yeah, without the experience of the first 2 games, that feels like a card that, why would I want that in this matchup?
Yeah.
But it's been so strong that he's probably going to prioritize having it. Ooh, there's Rest in Peace again. That's as good as it gets for him on turn 2.
Yeah, that one's pretty solid. So see Rest in Peace hit the table there, and Josh untapping.
A lot of mana sources.
Yeah, he's got a lot of mana.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have another Noble Hierarch.
He might have
can attack.
A couple breaches again this game. Yeah, let's get in there. I mean, Ivan's at 15 already.
Yeah.
There's not going to be much removal in there.
Yeah, so.
Targeted. All right, get in for 2.
Sure. This is the old Infect deal where you used to attack with the Noble Hierarchs. So Ivan Espinosa going to go ahead and play out that Field of Ruin, send it back Josh's way, probably with tons of counter magic left up, but Josh might even just be able to start attacking again, and I think that might even be a decent route to victory. All right, you see Josh going to go ahead and Manamorphose here. Draw on fresh one. All right, so here comes a Thought Scour for Josh. And yeah, this kind of same old, same old. There's a Manamorphose resolved, and Josh is trying to figure out what's the best way to get stuff going here. He's going to...
All right, I've just received word. We are going to, at some point, because we are time shifted here, at some point they're going to announce the top 8. When that happens, we're going to kill our mics so that you watching at home don't know the result of the game.
Great.
We do not currently know the result, but it might be hard to learn once they make that announcement.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just funnel through his deck with another opt here. And Josh is on the beatdown plan pretty firmly.
We're on all... Yeah, is that Fate Stitcher?
Yeah,
that's fully. That was cast. That's in play. Okay,
that's a 4-mana Fate Stitcher.
It was helpful last game.
Yeah. Ivan gonna play. Yeah, this is where Supreme Verdict would be.
Yeah, it would be
incredible.
Phenomenal. But there's no way it's in the deck. And
I don't know.
Now he'll immediately cast it.
He's just gonna jam it right now. I thought it was
Jace, all right.
All right, Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Well, that's
that's got a plus here, right?
It has to. It's going to get knocked out otherwise. Yeah, so Fate Seal, okay.
To the bottom. Sends it back Josh's way. Josh finds another land. Man, his hand is not good. Not particularly good. He's got like 2 lands and a silence in his hand, I think, at this point. It's not
That is
great.
extremely bad. So we're attacking in here with Hierarch and not with Fate Stitcher.
Yeah, I wonder if there's for some reason he wants this.
Oh,
He's tapping
okay.
down one of Ivan's lands.
Is that better than the damage on the Jace? I wonder. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But okay. I guess the Jace is locked into Fate Sealing regardless.
Yeah.
So maybe you think I'm not going to get off the board anyway, but that's all I can do.
Yeah, it seems quite
Ivan's
bad.
at 11.
Yeah,
Boy.
I mean, all right. So he sends.
Okay, so there's
Yeah.
the field, and Josh actually is able to search up a land. This is, I think this is maybe the 5th field ruin in the match, and this is the first time Josh actually got to get a land.
Yep. All right, so it picks up the land, and then Ivan going to untap here, or draw a card. I don't know what. Man, yeah, if Josh gets these creatures dealt with, it's going to be pretty rough sledding.
Yeah. But Ivan's just, there's so many cantrips in Josh's deck. I think if we're leaving anything, it's going to be lands and mana creatures is really all Ivan's going to allow Josh to draw. Everything else might go to the bottom.
Yep.
I guess Underworld Breach maybe would stay also.
Yeah, possible. All right, so. Fate's that you're going to attack this turn?
Okay, so we changed up. Whoa. So
Going
not only did we change our mana what we're attacking
Ivan.
with, we changed what we're attacking.
Yeah. I'm down to 8.
That's going to be tough.
We're going to mute our mics here, everybody, while we have a top 8 announcement, so give us just a few seconds here.
Oh.
Hey, Jack, will you type that in the chat? Type that in the chat that we're silent because of you.
Okay, they read him off. Do you want to go back now or wait till it's done?
Just wait.
I guess either way.
All right, great. Sorry about that extended break there. Joshua cast the silence, and it worked on us as well in the booth. We had a top 8 announcement. We were hanging on. We didn't want to ruin the end result of this game here and match, so we're going to pick it back up. A few things happened there. Ivan was able to deploy a Teferi Time Raveler. He was also Cryptic Commanded in there, so Josh looks like pretty far behind at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. This is... He can be behind the board and catch up immediately and win.
Yeah.
But it seems rough. Ivan is way ahead on cards. Josh's board is, we're forced, we've been basically for the last 5 or 6 turns, all we've been doing is attacking, and this is not a deck that attacks for less than 1 million damage at a time in an ideal scenario.
Yeah, you see Josh going to play a Noble Hierarch here.
Well, maybe not 1 million. This is not necessarily an infinite damage deck.
Right.
This is, we can do maybe 50 damage or something, but we are maxed out.
Aether Gusting and Noble Hierarch. That is
why not? It's
top tier stuff.
Yeah.
And Josh's going to leave it on top. Okay.
Okay. Interesting. Whoa.
Yeah, that's better.
This
That's a better use of your mana. Okay.
But why do we need... Are we keeping the Hierarch just so we can keep attacking?
So do you want extra point of damage to put on a 2-turn clock with the bird?
So, boy, I question... It's interesting. So Josh thought that Noble Hierarch was worth keeping.
Yeah.
Ivan agreed because he forced
fielded
a
him.
shuffle.
Yeah, it would have been a 2-turn clock at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's not necessarily true
No,
because the Jace can bounce.
Yeah, the things can get bounced, and it wouldn't... Even at that point, we're attacking for 2, I think, not 3.
Yeah. I'm more interested in seeing how Ivan wins the game from this this point.
I
because
don't
he's
know.
been brainstorming with his Jace several
I mean,
turns
we
in a row.
know how Josh wins. It goes silence, ascendancy, crush you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know how that can play out.
Even just from 6. I mean, that's pretty,
Yeah.
it's pretty light.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. But it does require an ascend. How likely are we to win without an ascendancy?
I mean, he can just go flesh blood and attack.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's true. We can wish for flesh and then attack and exalted triggers and do enough in combination. That is possible.
and there's an ascendancy hanging out.
I mean, I have to think.
I don't think anything is going to resolve anymore. Ivan has like 6 cards in hand.
I don't either, but I mean, we have to keep the ascendancy though, because we have to at least try.
Yeah, you want to try and slam the ascendancy and put some counters on your things here, and another bird. All right, so I'm going to mana leak a Birds of Paradise.
That can be paid for. Okay, and then we're going to see
dispute.
Mystical Dispute. Whoa.
Okay.
Not too many birds have earned 2-for-1s.
No.
But, yeah, okay, so I was making an effort to go after the mana here.
Yeah. It's a strange game.
It is a strange game, but it's been... I mean, Josh has been on the back foot since the very beginning with the rest in peace.
Oh,
and then now the Planeswalkers have just been on the board for half a dozen turns at least. Yeah. And, I mean, when we're swinging in with 0-power creatures with exalted triggers, it's just a long way to go.
Yeah, it's uphill battle.
Also, the fact that we changed our mind on what we were doing, Josh...
At least 2 points were missed from that.
Attacked the Planeswalker, attacked the player, attacked a different creature. There were some... And that is something that happens, like in Magic, where if you change your plan, you've lost some ground.
Yeah.
Whatever it ends up being, whatever you're trying to do, you're further away from it.
Yeah. All right, so Josh going to put another land in play here. Gonna attack Ivan. I mean, Ivan's down to 3.
He's taking
4?
He's only
Excuse me,
taking one
taking
turn.
1 here.
Yeah.
Now 3. And it's funny, he hasn't found a Celestial Colonnade yet, which is hilariously a blocker and stops Josh's new primary game plan.
Yeah, this is. I mean, this looks unrecoverable, and it would have been interesting to see if maybe a couple things had gone differently in Game 2.
Yeah.
Josh may have lost anyway, but I would have been. It certainly, there was a possibility there. Whereas here it looks like an inevitability that Ivan is going to win.
I mean, this Jace is brainstormed at least 3 times, maybe 4 now at this point.
And I mean, some of Ivan's counters are not so great. Like there's another mana leak in hand, and that can be paid for on virtually anything.
Sure. I'm going to take his Teferi Time Raveler off the table to bounce
the Hierarch. Bouncing the Hierarch doesn't actually prevent the damage from coming in.
Right.
Because the Birds is still going to swing in anyway.
Yeah. It just spends the mana, I suppose. But
yeah.
I mean.
Whoa. Are we missing with a normal fetch line here? No, we have something to get still. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so Josh grabs Steam Vents out of his deck here. It's been an interesting game, to say the least, here.
Enjoyable match. This Ascendancy deck is pretty neat. This
is Noble Heart going to eat a cryptic command. I was thinking that.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a cryptic command. Going to draw a new one.
And there's this. If this resolves.
Oh, that one's getting leaked.
Yeah. No, Ivan has
everything.
Yes, he does.
There's a mana leak. And
so, okay, so Ivan gets paid off from removing more of the mana creatures than perhaps he needed to.
Yeah.
As the mana leak is still alive on turn 20.
Gosh. It's so tempting to leave that Noble Hierarch on top, which Josh did when your opponent's at 3.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, does it feel bad to leave that thing on top, man. I mean, even he can Fate Seal. Ivan can Fate Seal him after he knows Josh just left a card on top of his deck. I mean, either way, he's just going to draw more cards. Why not?
Drawing. Yeah, sure. I mean, Ivan probably needs 5 cards to accomplish any one thing because his sideboarding is so... I mean, the way he sideboarded left him completely unprepared for a creature beatdown plan.
Yeah. Hey, there we go.
Oh, a Colonnade.
Celestial Colonnade. Yeah. That's going to end the game in 2 turns here. All right. There's the Noble Hierarch. He can logic not for how much? Plenty. I think he can
Enough.
logic not for plenty, actually, yeah.
Yeah. But we don't need to. But at this point, we don't need to bother because now we have a colonnade, so the combat damage is over.
Yeah.
This one last hit comes in, and then Ivan probably can't take any more damage.
Yeah.
And Josh really can't. Okay. That seemed a little unnecessary.
That's aggressive.
Bouncing that Birds of Paradise.
All right.
So
Attack for 4 here.
Yeah.
This game's going to be over in just a few minutes, I think, and Ivan's going to punch his way into the top 8, it looks like. So Manamorphose for Josh. A lot of bad stuff happens when
I
that
guess
card
getting
gets...
that bird out of the way, reanimating the colonnade to be able to block also would be very expensive. And actually, Ivan would be one short of that. So bouncing the Bird of Paradise there actually made a fair amount of sense.
Yeah, all right.
And it finally ends. Ivan Espinosa wins a lengthy 3-game match that was a joy to watch. I enjoyed watching Joshua Satterfield both times we had him on.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the deck. Looked really cool. Probably a few things you could change. One island is maybe a little aggressive.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, there was a few. I mean, definitely a few plays this match. We attacked into an Arbor colonnade that ate a Fate Stitcher. We reanimated Fate Stitchers that maybe didn't do anything. There's a few things that could have gone a little differently. It is round 7. It's been a long weekend.
Yesterday as well.
It's been a long weekend. So, play, just overall quality play goes downhill a little bit. But still impressive showing for him on the weekend, top 8 one day, and then likely finishing top 16, I would say, on the second day. Good for him. And then Ivan Espinosa presumably makes top 8 since he won his match. Yeah,
sounds like it. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. We're going to be in the quarterfinals here in just a few minutes. We're going to take some pictures over there and get our top 8 crowned. We'll grab deck lists for you.
Yeah.
Again, just hang out here, hit that follow button, grab a soda, drink, whatever you want to do.
Shouldn't be too long because we basically used up all of the delay during that time shifted match.
Yeah, we're
so
firmly
we should
into
be back pretty soon.
Cool.